Today we are going to see the important topic in object oriented programming, that is constructor. Before I enter into this topic, I want to clarify one thing, that is the difference between a function and constructor. Okay, so function means that it is a piece of code. Generally, it is a piece of code. So here, function is a piece of code, right? So here, what is happening when we are writing a function, some basic thing it needs. So first one is function name, right? So next function definition. Function definition. Third one is function call. So these things are very essential. So after that, there is a arguments, return type. Okay, likewise we can add some things after the function definition, right? So this is the basics things. These things must be available while we are having a function inside the program, right? So the next is constructor. So the constructor is also having a name. Okay, constructor is also having a name, but the difference between a function and constructor is, okay. So in our C++ program, we may have a class into our file, but the function name should not be matched with the class name while writing a function concept in the program. But if you are writing a constructor concept, the function name must be same with the class name. So this is the first rule while writing a constructor into the program. The second thing is, when we are having a function inside the C++ program, when we call it, only the function definition is invoked, right? But while having a constructor, we don't need to call the function. Okay, we don't need to call the constructor because in our C++ program, what are the class properties is available inside the class? Everything can be accessible by the object of the class only. So while creating an object to the class, the constructor is automatically called. So you don't need to call the function separately. Okay, so this is the second thing while having a constructor. Okay, and this constructor is also classified into three types. Okay, so first one is default constructor. Okay, next one is parameterized constructor, and third one is copy constructor. So these are the types of constructor is available in C++. Okay, while creating a constructor also, it occupies some memory. Memory allocation is also taken in our C++. Okay, so let me see the whole concept in a practical way. Okay, so here I'm going to implement a function concept first. Okay, I'm going to implement a function concept first. So for that, here we are using a iostream header file now for C++, and the namespace is standard namespace, right? So here I am using a class. The class name is A here. Okay, and this is the structure of our class. So class keyword followed by a class name. So here we can use three access modifier. So first one is private, second one is public, third one is protected. So each access specifier is having some special features. Okay, so if you are declaring a variable and function definition under the public access specifier needs, we can access it anywhere from the file. Okay, so the public access specifier is very helpful for us. So here I'm going to create a function. So here I'm just writing a function. Okay. So here what I'm going to do in the sense, here I'm going to do just add function. Okay. So this is the normal function definition syntax. Return type, function name, followed by, we can give argument or else we don't need to use the arguments. So that is our wish. So here I don't use any arguments. Okay, so for doing a addition operation I need two variable, right? And the resultant variable must be stored in some other places, right? So that here I am using int a, I am directly giving a value 5, b is equal to 6, and this is c is a resultant variable. So c is equal to a plus b. Okay, so this is our normal addition of two number program, right? So here itself I am writing the result c. Okay, and I'm giving handle. Okay, so here itself I'm writing a result. Okay, but this add function cannot be run because and I didn't call this function. Okay, still I didn't call the function, so I have to call the function in the main method. So int main. So here I'm going to create an object for my class. So what is my class? That is a. So for this a class, I'm creating a object. So object name can be anything. Okay. So here I'm giving obj. So by using this obj object only, we can access the class properties. So class properties is nothing but variables, functions, everything. Okay. So here I'm going to call the add function, right? So I just call it. Okay. So here I'm having a return statement. That's all. Because here I define main function as int return type, in int return type, so that. Okay, so now I'm running a file. Okay, there is no return statement now. Okay, answer is came now. Okay, so this is the normal function in a program. So now I'm going to change this function as a constructor. So for that, what I have to do, first I have to change the function name. So function name should be a class name. Okay, and here we don't need to use any return type also. So here the function class name is A. So now I just change the function name as A. Okay, and here I already told, while creating object itself, the function is automatically called. So we don't need to call add one more time. Okay. So that's all. So this is not a function now. This is the constructor. Okay. So this is the constructor. So I'm running it. Okay. Written statement is not required. Okay. The answer is K. So the difference between a function and constructor is the function name and function call. So these two things we have to change. So after this changes, our normal function is changed into a constructor. So constructor is having a several type. So first one is non-parameterized constructor, next parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. So this is the default constructor or non-parameterized constructor. Default constructor or non-parameterized constructor. Okay. So next we are going to see the parameterized constructor, the same addition of two numbers. So here I'm going to pass the a and b value from the main function itself. So here before creating an object, I am using two variable num1, num2. Okay, I am getting these value from the user. So enter the number 1 and number 2 values. Okay, so here I'm getting num1 as well as num2. Okay, right. Next, while creating object itself, the function definition is invoked, right? So here I'm going to see parameterized constructor. So the parameters are number 1 and number 2. So that parameter should be passed while creating an object. So a obj, here I am passing number 1 and number 2. Okay. So here I am going to use the same int a and int b. Okay. So C is equal to A plus B and the resultant value has been printed there. Okay. So this is called parameterized constructor. Okay. I am running this program. Enter the num1 and num2 value. So the num1 is 4, num2 is 6. Answer is 10. So this is the parameterized constructor. Okay. So while creating an object, we have to pass the arguments. And when where we have given a function definition, I mean the constructor definition, there also we have to use the parameters to do the calculations. Okay. So this is the parameterized constructor. Next one is copy constructor. Okay, for the copy constructor, we have to done the parameterized constructor first. So parameterized constructor we already have inside our program. So here I am going to create a copy constructor. So copy constructor means that here also the function name is same a. Okay, but here I am passing the object as a parameter here. Okay, so here I am using the same class name and the object OB. Just consider OB is a object. Okay. This OB object is for my copy constructor now. Okay. So here what I'm going to do in the sense by using this OB you can access all the class properties. Okay. So here I'm using one variable int n is equal to my ob dot c. Okay, ob dot c, or else before that I'm just to declare this int c as a global value. Okay, so because I just use the c into the global value, so that only we can access the c value in our copy constructor itself. Okay, so here my ob dot c, which means I'm accessing c value by using this ob object in this copy constructor. Okay, next I'm going to find this c is odd or even. Okay, so now the c value is saved in my n variable, right? So n modulo of 2 equal to 0. So if it is true means it just print even, right? Otherwise it will print odd. Okay, that's all. Next, while calling the copy constructor. This is our parameterized constructor call. So after that, we have to call the copy constructor. So for calling the copy constructor, what we have to do in the sense A. So here we have to create one more object, that is obj1. And we have to pass this obj as a argument. Why means this, while using this obj object only, this parameterized constructor is called. Okay, while running this parameterized constructor only, we can know what is C value. Okay, this C value only is going to be used by a copy constructor. So that while calling a copy constructor, we have to create one more object and we have to pass this parameterized constructor object as an argument to this copy constructor. Okay, so this is the important thing. Okay, so next I am running a file. So enter the number one and number two because parameterized constructor call first. Okay, so here I am giving the first number n num1 value as 7, next num2 value is 9. So 16. 9 plus 7, 16. 16 is an even value because the 16, I mean, C calculation is happen only inside the parameterized constructor, but it is accessible by copy constructor by using this OB object. Okay, meantime, by using this OBJ argument only, we can access the C value. Okay, so this is the parameterized constructor, parameterized constructor and copy constructor. So from this video, I hope you all very clear in parameterized constructor, constructor and copy constructor. Okay, let me see in some other video with new concepts. Thank you.